today I'm going to break down for you the Amazon suspension trend that I work on the most these days, and that is the dispute-only appeal path. So a dispute-only appeal path is when Amazon suspends your account, but they are not asking you for a plan of action. They are asking you to essentially prove to them that you did not violate the policies that they think you did by submitting a dispute. There's three main areas that we see Amazon asking for these dispute-only appeals, and they are restricted products, not all restricted products, we're going to get to that in a second, 2, listing policy violations, particularly variations misuse, and 3 is what Amazon refers to as evasive behavior, which is a fairly vague term, and it can mean a few different things. We're going to get to that in a minute. But going back to the restricted products, so not all restricted product violations are going to take down your entire account with just one policy warning. The areas that we're seeing this happening where Amazon just takes down the entire account rather than just taking down that one listing are, 1, if you just keep getting warned for listing restricted products, eventually Amazon will take down your account if you keep violating their policy. 2, we see a lot of accounts being suspended for just one restricted product, if that product is related to weapon, or if it is related to drugs. So either a drug or drug paraphernalia. If Amazon thinks that you have violated those policies, what they're doing at the moment is just suspending the entire account with a dispute-only appeal path. The second type is, like I said, listing variation misuse. Sometimes they do still ask sellers for a plan of action, and then other times they ask for dispute only. To be honest, I cannot really see the pattern into who gets asked for a plan of action and who gets asked for a dispute only. But you need to make sure that you are reading your suspension notification very carefully, because you want to give Amazon what it is that they're asking for. If they are asking for a dispute and you're sending them a plan of action, they're not going to reinstate your account, and you could actually be doing more damage than good if you are admitting to root causes causing you to violate their policies when they are asking you to prove that you didn't violate their policies. And then the third and most broad category is evasive action or evasive behavior. We also regularly see this mixed in, so you get suspended for restricted products and evasive behavior, or you get suspended for just evasive behavior. And evasive behavior essentially just refers to anything Amazon thinks that you're doing that is fraud, for lack of a better word. So if you're listing products that aren't allowed on our marketplace, but you're trying to make it look like they're something else than what they really are, that's evasive behavior. If you're faking compliance markings or compliance documentation, or you're submitting it in a way to try to make it look like it's something other than what it is, that is evasive behavior. And if you're submitting falsified or manipulated documents, that would also be considered evasive behavior. And so these are the types of suspensions where Amazon will only accept a dispute. So what does that mean? It does not mean that Amazon wants you to blame somebody else on your team. And yes, I am sure you will hear stories about some sellers doing that and it getting their account reinstated. And yes, that was the case a year ago when they first started rolling out the dispute-only appeals. But for the most part, and historically, Amazon holds you accountable for anything that happens on your account. So just blaming your virtual assistant or blaming a service that you worked with, generally speaking, doesn't really count as a dispute. You need to prove to them that you have not violated the policies that they believe that you have violated. And so you need to, 1, be familiar with the policy in order to dispute it, and then you need to lay out for them exactly how your product or your action did not violate those policies. And they do get it wrong, especially when it comes to the restricted products. They're mostly using automated means to figure out whether your product is part of their restricted products policy or not. And oftentimes, a keyword search doesn't necessarily accurately reflect what your product is. So in those instances, you need to provide as much documentation and as much proof as you can to show that you have not violated their policies. For the evasive behavior, it's very similar. If they think you've manipulated documentation, you need to prove to them that you have not manipulated documentation. If they believe that you've listed a product to try to make it look like something else, you need to show them that that is not what you have done. But the important thing is that if they are asking you for a dispute, do not send them a plan of action. And plan of action, you are admitting wrongdoing, you are telling them what you did wrong, why it happened, and what you have done to make sure it will never happen again. In a dispute, you are laying out very clearly to them how you have not violated Amazon's policies, how you have not acted in an evasive way, and you are documenting that for them, not appealing based on improvements to your business practices.